You know, there's something I hear from so many people over 60, something I've even felt myself from time to time. That little voice that says, "I just don't have the same energy I used to." Or maybe you've noticed it's a little harder to stay as active, as sharp, or as resilient as you once were. And here's the thing, that's completely normal. Our bodies change as we age, but that doesn't mean we have to accept feeling run down or missing out on the things we love. The good news? Small, simple changes can make a big difference. And one of the easiest ways to give your health a boost after 60 is by paying attention to the nutrients your body needs most. Sometimes, even with the best diet, we fall a little short, and that's where the right supplements can step in to help fill those gaps. Now, I'm not talking about miracle pills or trendy potions. These are doctor-recommended supplements that have stood the test of time, backed by real science and trusted by health professionals to support everything from your heart to your joints, your brain, and beyond. So today, let's talk about 5 of the best supplements to consider after 60, why they matter, how they work, and how they might just help you feel stronger, sharper, and more vibrant in your day-to-day life. And don't worry, we'll keep it simple, practical, and straight to the point. First up, let's talk about something that's absolutely essential for keeping your bones strong and your muscles functioning well: vitamin D. You've probably heard about vitamin D before, but here's why it's especially important as we get older. Our bodies produce less of it naturally with age, and if you're not spending a lot of time in the sun, and let's be honest, many of us aren't, you might not be getting enough. Low vitamin D levels can lead to weaker bones, muscle aches, and even a higher risk of falls. But here's the good part. Fixing a vitamin D deficiency can be as easy as taking a daily supplement. Most doctors recommend around 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day. But it's always a good idea to check with your own healthcare provider to see what's right for you. And the benefits? Stronger bones, better muscle function, and even some research suggesting it supports your immune system, something we all want to keep in top shape. Now, let's move on to something just as important: omega-3 fatty acids. If you're not eating fatty fish like salmon or sardines a few times a week, you might be missing out on these incredible nutrients. Omega-3s are like little superheroes for your heart and brain. They help reduce inflammation, something that becomes more of a concern as we age. And they've been linked to better heart health, improved memory, and even mood support. The best part? You don't have to force down fish if it's not your thing. A high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplement can give you the same benefits. Look for one with both EPA and DHA, the 2 most important types of omega-3s, and aim for about 1,000 milligallons per day. Your heart and your mind will thank you. And before we move on to the next supplement, let me ask you, have you ever felt like your joints could use a little extra support? If so, you're not alone. That's exactly why we're going to talk about glucosamine and chondroitin next. These 2 often come together in a single supplement, and for good reason. They're like the building blocks for healthy cartilage, the cushioning between your joints. Over time, that cushion can wear down, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and even arthritis. Glucosamine and chondroitin work together to help maintain joint health, reduce stiffness, and keep you moving comfortably. Now, it's important to know that these supplements aren't an overnight fix. They work best when taken consistently over time. But for many people, they make a real difference in staying active and pain-free. And speaking of staying active, let's talk about one more supplement before we wrap up this first part: magnesium. Magnesium is a bit of an unsung hero. It plays a role in over 300 processes in your body, from keeping your heartbeat steady to helping your muscles relax. But here's the catch. Many of us don't get enough of it, especially as we age. Low magnesium can lead to muscle cramps, trouble sleeping, and even higher blood pressure. A daily magnesium supplement, especially forms like magnesium glycinate or citrate, which are easier on the stomach, can help with everything from better sleep to smoother digestion. Just another small change with big potential benefits. Now, we've covered 4 key supplements so far: vitamin D, omega-3s, glucosamine and chondroitin, and magnesium. But there's one more we haven't talked about yet, one that's just as important, especially for keeping your mind sharp. And that's exactly where we'll pick things up next. So stay with me, because up ahead, we're going to dive into that fifth and final supplement. And trust me, it's one you won't want to miss. When we talk about staying healthy after 60, there's one thing that tends to worry people more than almost anything else: the thought of losing their sharpness, their memories, the mental clarity that's always been such a big part of who they are. Maybe you've walked into a room and forgotten why you went in there, or struggled to recall a name you've known for years. It happens to all of us from time to time. But here's the good news. Just like we can support our bones, joints, and heart, we can also give our brains the nutrients they need to stay strong. And that brings us to our fifth and final doctor-recommended supplement: B vitamins, especially B12. Now, B vitamins might not sound as exciting as some of the other supplements we've talked about, but let me tell you, they're absolute powerhouses when it comes to brain health and energy. And B12 is the real standout here. As we age, our bodies don't absorb B12 as easily from food, especially if you've ever taken medications for acid reflux or heartburn, which can make it even harder to get enough. Low B12 can leave you feeling foggy, tired, or even a little unsteady on your feet. But here's the simple fix. A B12 supplement, or even a good B complex, can help keep your mind sharp, your nerves functioning well, and your energy levels up. Some people even find that a little extra B12 gives them back that spark they thought they'd lost. And the best part? It's safe, affordable, and easy to take. Just a small pill, or even a sublingual, that's under the tongue, tablet, if your digestion doesn't absorb it well. Now, before we go any further, I want to pause for a second and talk about something important. Because I know some of you might be thinking, do I really need all these supplements? Can't I just get everything from food? And you're absolutely right to ask that. Ideally, yes, we'd get all our nutrients from a perfect, balanced diet. But let's be honest, life isn't always ideal. Maybe your appetite isn't what it used to be, or certain foods don't agree with you like they once did. Maybe you're just not eating as much variety as you used to. That's where supplements come in. They're not a replacement for good food, but they're a helpful safety net to make sure your body gets what it needs. So with that in mind, let's talk about how to choose the right supplements, because not all bottles on the shelf are created equal. First, quality matters. Look for brands that have been tested by third-party organizations like USP, NSF, or Consumer Lab. These little seals mean the supplement actually contains what it says on the label. No hidden fillers or sketchy ingredients. Second, form matters too. For example, with vitamin D, D3, cholecalciferol, is better absorbed than D2. With magnesium, as I mentioned earlier, glycinate or citrate are gentler than oxide. A quick bit of research, or better yet, a chat with your doctor or pharmacist, can help you pick the best form for your needs. And third, timing and balance. Some supplements work better with food, like vitamin D or omega-3s, while others are best on an empty stomach. Some, like calcium and iron, can interfere with each other if taken at the same time. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just spreading them out through the day or following the bottle's instructions can make a big difference. Now, I know this might feel like a lot to think about, but here's the key. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 supplements that feel most relevant to you. Give them a few weeks and see how you feel. Small steps still move you forward. And speaking of small steps, let's talk about one last thing before we wrap up this part. Because even with the best supplements in the world, they'll work even better if we give them a little help. Think of it like this. If you were planting a garden, you wouldn't just toss some seeds on dry, rocky soil and hope for the best, right? You'd water them, make sure they get sunlight, maybe add a little fertilizer. Your body's the same way. Supplements are like that extra boost of nutrients, but they work best when we also take care of the basics. Staying hydrated, moving our bodies, even just a little walking counts, and getting enough sleep. It's all connected. That omega-3 supplement will do more for your brain if you're also challenging it with a crossword puzzle or a good conversation. That vitamin D will support your bones better if you're also doing a bit of strength training or gentle yoga. So as we move into the final part of our conversation, we're going to bring it all together. How to make these supplements work for you, how to spot when something might not be right for you, and most importantly, how to feel your best in this next chapter of life. Because here's the truth. Getting older isn't about chasing youth. It's about living well, staying strong, and enjoying every day to the fullest. And you deserve nothing less. So stay with me. We've got just a little more to cover, and it might just be the most important part yet. You know, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is the wisdom that comes with it. The understanding that true health isn't about quick fixes or chasing after some impossible ideal. It's about giving your body what it needs to thrive, so you can keep doing the things you love, whether that's playing with your grandkids, tending your garden, or finally taking that trip you've always dreamed of. We've talked about 5 powerful supplements that can help fill the gaps in your nutrition after 60. Vitamin D for your bones, omega-3s for your heart and brain, glucosamine and chondroitin for your joints, magnesium for better sleep and muscle function, and B vitamins to keep your mind sharp. But before we wrap up, let's talk about how to make all this work in your life. Because what good is advice if it doesn't fit into the real world? First, let's tackle a question I hear all the time. How do I know if I even need these supplements? The honest answer? You might not absolutely need every single one, but some are more likely to be helpful than others. For example, if you rarely eat fish, omega-3s are a smart addition. If you've noticed more stiffness when you get out of bed in the morning, glucosamine could be worth trying. And if you're often tired or foggy-headed, B12 might make a noticeable difference. But the best way to know for sure? A simple blood test at your next doctor's visit can check your vitamin D, B12, and magnesium levels. It's not about guessing, it's about knowing exactly where you stand so you can focus on what your body truly needs. Now, here's something just as important: listening to your body. No supplement is one size fits all. Maybe you'll try magnesium and realize it helps you sleep like a dream. Or maybe it doesn't change much for you, and that's okay. The key is to pay attention. Give each new supplement a few weeks, unless you have any negative reactions, of course, and notice if you feel any subtle improvements. More energy, less stiffness, clearer thinking. Those little wins add up. And while we're on the topic of safety, let's talk about medications. If you're taking any prescriptions, especially blood thinners, thyroid meds, or blood pressure drugs, it's always smart to check with your doctor before adding new supplements. For example, omega-3s can thin your blood slightly, and vitamin K, often found in greens, can interact with certain blood thinners. A quick conversation with your pharmacist or doctor can save you any worries. Now, I want to take a step back for a moment and remind you of something important. Supplements are just one piece of the puzzle. They're like the icing on the cake, but the cake itself is all those daily habits that keep you feeling your best. A short walk around the block, a few extra sips of water, an extra vegetable on your plate. Those small choices matter just as much as what's in your pill organizer. So as we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. Getting older isn't about decline. It's about opportunity. The opportunity to take better care of yourself than ever before, to appreciate your body for all it's done for you, and to give it the support it needs to keep going strong. You don't have to do everything perfectly. Start with one change, maybe adding that vitamin D you've been meaning to take or tossing some salmon into your weekly meals. See how it feels. Celebrate the small victories, and most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried any of these supplements? What's made the biggest difference in how you feel? Your experiences might help someone else on their own health journey. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're all in this together, and I'm here to share more tips, stories, and honest conversations about thriving at any age. So here's to you, to your health, your strength, and all the wonderful years ahead. Remember, it's never too late to feel your best. Now go out there and enjoy every moment. You've earned it.